In the press recently has been the reporting of the governor and the mayor of Burlington and the mayor of Winooski going down to Eglin Air Force Base to hear the F-35. I'd like to comment on that. If we are to make this about or form our decisions based on an individual's subjective feelings about the noise of the F-35, then the Air Force has wasted millions of taxpayer dollars and years doing research and compiling scientific evidence for on the long-term effects of aircraft noise on our area. The Air Force produced this document called the Draft Environmental Impact Statement that outlines all of the negative impacts on our area. And it says the F-35A will have a negative impact on 6,675 individuals living around the airport. By the way, that is with 2000 census data. If we look at 2010 census data, the number of individuals comes up closer to 9,000. People have asked me whether I think it is worthwhile going to Eglin to hear the F-35. If someone has the time and money to do that to satisfy their own curiosity, then that is their prerogative. However, I think a better use of time would be to actually read the environmental impact statement and perhaps talk to some of the 9,000 people in our area who will be living with this perhaps for the rest of their life. The other thing to consider is individuals will be hearing an aircraft at one point in time. They'll also be hearing an aircraft that is still in testing and training. So the sound they hear may or may not be the same kind of noise it will make once it's operationally deployed. We all, or those of us living around the airport, remember very, very clearly that the Air Guard made a projection about the noise levels of the F-16. They said the F-16 would get quieter when they did some hardware changes to it regarding engines. And then the airport used those projections to develop noise contour lines upon which we received, the Burlington Airport received FAA dollars to buy out homes that were now unsuitable for residential use because of the noise. The problem was the projections were wrong, dramatically wrong. Not only did the aircraft, the F-16, not get quieter, it got significantly louder. Other people have asked whether I'm offended or whether South Burlington officials should have been included. Well, if this is just a trip south, for friends to, go to an Air Force base, then they can do what they want. If this is about, however, discussing the impacts of the F-35 on our local area, then all of the municipalities that are affected by that, overwhelmingly Winooski and South Burlington, as well as parts of Williston and Burlington and perhaps Colchester, are also affected. So all municipalities should be involved in the discussion. Some other areas that perhaps you may not be aware of because they haven't been in the press very much. The first one is claims that are being made about the F-35 somehow being of economic benefit to our local area. Once again, according to the Air Force official report, the answer to that is no. You can read it for yourself. It says there is no net economic benefit or loss to our area under Scenario 1, which is 18 aircraft coming here. Under Scenario 2, which is 24 aircraft coming here, they say that there will be only minor impact, and that will be from the 266 military people that would be added to the Guard. And by the way, 83 of those are full-time, and all of those would be transferred here from other places. So it won't mean any new full-time jobs for Vermonters. The other issue that some people have been talking about is a comparison to Plattsburgh Air Force Base. Now, Plattsburgh Air Force Base was an active-duty Air Force base that had 5,500 active-duty personnel permanently assigned, all of whom lived in the local areas with their family. And Plattsburgh, I have my notes here, is a city about the size of 20,000 people at the time. We are talking in comparison to a air guard station that shares a runway with a commercial airport, employs, depending on who you listen to, 300 or 400 full-time jobs. The rest are all part-time jobs, and I think many of those come in from other states to do their weekend duty here. So worst case, when the F-16 ceases to fly 20 or 30 years from now, 400 full-time people may lose their job. Now, that is in a municipality with Burlington and South Burlington of about 60,000 people. And just for comparison, in the last 3 years, we have created 4,300 new jobs. So you weigh that against 20 years in the future, losing 400 jobs. Would the area be devastated? One other issue that has not been spoken about very much is the number of operations that would occur with the F-35. And according to the draft environmental impact statement, the F-35, they would be increasing their flying days. Right now, the F-16 flies 228 days a year. The F-35 will fly 260 days a year. Under Scenario 1, that would generate 5,486 operations a year. And under Scenario 2, that would be 7,296 operations a year. Now, if you do the math, using the flying days of 260 days a year and the flying hours, because they only fly during daytime hours, that would mean it would result in 21 to 28 operations per flying day, which comes out to about 2 operations every hour, every flying hour. Many people don't realize what the impact of that will be. The second thing that some people talk about is there could be a reduction in sorties. According to the EIS, it says any reduction in flying would be offset by the increased noise. People who say what they think will happen with the F-35, it's pure conjecture. The aircraft is not even operationally deployed. So I would encourage anybody to first read the document, read what the Air Force, the official report of the federal government says about the F-35, and then make your decision based on that.